So this is part one of our naming compounds series, and it is going to be on naming ionic compounds. The first thing to know when you're naming your compounds is which one you have. So have our chemical reactions occur when we gain, lose, or share electrons. If we split the periodic table across the stair step, we can talk about each half. Nonmetals tend to gain or accept electrons, which gives them a negative charge, and negative ions are called anions. Metals, on the other hand, lose or donate electrons, which gives them a positive charge, and positive ions are called cations. And you can find the charge of an ion by looking at its position in the periodic table. We have, for our transition metals, you want to check the Roman numeral next to the name when it's listed. Obviously, our noble gases have 0, but you can count out 1, 2, jump across the transition 3, 4, and then you'll go back down 3, 2, 1, and you have your cations over here and your anions over here. Now, our rules for naming ions. When metals lose electrons, they become ions, but their name does not change. So sodium becomes a sodium ion and an electron. Magnesium becomes a magnesium ion and 2 electrons. When nonmetals gain electrons, they become ions and their name does change. So fluorine with an electron will become fluoride, like what's in your toothpaste. Sulfur and a couple of electrons will become sulfide. The names of metals do not change. We do change the names of nonmetals, and it's the root of the element plus "ide" is what we call the ion. I will often in class just say we're going to "ide" that thing to remind you to put "ide" at the end. So chlorine becomes chloride, nitrogen becomes nitride. Calcium is a metal, so the name doesn't change. Oxygen is going to become oxide. Aluminum, is that a metal or not? It's a metal, so we just call it aluminum, or aluminium if you're British. When we name a compound, like this, with calcium and 2 bromines, we're going to write the name of the metal ion, calcium, and then we're going to write the name of the nonmetal ion, bromide. That's it. Ionic compounds are super duper easy like this. Now, I've peppered in a couple checks for understanding for you, but remember, if you can tell that it's a metal and a nonmetal, it is that easy. It's very normal to second guess yourself, but if you see something, especially from the left 2 columns and then a nonmetal, just write it out, calcium bromide, or sodium chloride, everybody's favorite rock.